Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and back to another Urban Calisthenics workout of my full body calisthenics routine. In today's session, I'm excited to bring back to you P-bar power, for which you'll be doing 5 exercises for 45 seconds of work with 15 seconds of rest for a total of 4 rounds. That's 20 minutes in total. Now you will need a set of parallel bars to do this workout and a small space to work in, and you are pretty much good to go. As always, make sure you practice those instructionals before getting stuck in, alongside a thorough warm-up. And I will leave a link in the description below for a warm-up that I feel is suitable for this workout, but by all means, do one of your own. That's enough from me. Let's see what's in store. So for the bear squat L-sit to push-up combination, you're going to start by setting your bars up to around about shoulder width. From here, I'm going to talk you through the L-sit setup before moving through the other two components. So for the L-sit, you're going to start by bringing your hands central to the bars. Your hips will either be level to or slightly behind the hands. The wrists will be as straight as possible, shoulders packed down, and legs as straight as possible. From this position, I'm going to bring one foot level to the hands. To bring the other leg back, I'm going to start by leaning forwards, stabbing that leg back, and then bringing the bent leg into a straight leg position. Now I'm ready for the push-up. For the push-up, you're going to work your way down as low as you possibly can, whilst keeping good form, keeping the head, shoulders and hips on the same path, and you work to a point where you can make it back up, holding good form. From here, you're going to move into your bear squat position, taking your backside towards your heels. From here, as I extend the legs, I bring one leg to the middle, one all the way through the space, and then I move back into the L position with 2 feet together. So from here, again, one leg back, the other leg all the way through, join up the feet, full range push-up. As you press out, you move into your bear squat, taking your backside to the heels, 1 foot in the middle, 1 foot all the way through, and then back into your L. So if you're looking for more of a challenge with this drill, what you can do is when you move into your L-sit position, instead of bringing 1 foot back at a time, you can actually bring both legs back at the same time. And this will land us in that support position. So what we're going to do is bring the shoulders forwards, and as we do that, we're pressing through the bars. Bring your knees into the chest. As you can see, I've landed the support position. I go into the push-up as before. The bear squat is the same. And as we go forwards this time, I'm going to bring 2 legs through together at the same time, but passing through a tuck. So I'll show you again, from the L-sit, to support, to push up, to bear squat, to jump through. Just making sure the hips land either level to or slightly behind the hands. And for an even bigger challenge, what you can do is when you're in your L-sit position, providing your hips are behind your hands and you've got enough compression and enough leg strength, you can actually bring the legs off the floor. So notice how the hips are just behind the hands now, wrists are as straight as possible. You're going to compress through the bars, raise the legs, try and get them on the horizon, and then we work into our support position from here. So knees in, shoulders forwards, land support, push up, move into the squat position, and then try to put the brakes on as you land your L with your feet off the floor. So lean, compress the bars, keep the weight forwards on the push-up, move back into the bear squat, and land the L. So for the straight to W, you're going to start by lying on your front, feet in contact with the floor, and we're going to start by moving into the W position. So for the W position, you're trying to send your arms out to the side, elbows at around about 90 degrees, and sending your hands as high as possible, so getting the hands above the line of the elbows. So I really want you to think about engaging your back and squeezing the back of the shoulders to maintain that height. From here, what we're going to do is to scoop down to bringing the head to the floor, and then we're going to reach our straight position. Again, with the straight position, you're trying to get the hands as high as possible, crushing the head with the arms and trying to elevate the shoulders as best you possibly can. Again, we're going to scoop down again to reach that W, squeezing the back in that top position, scooping down to reach the straight. So for the P-bar dips, you're going to start by setting your bars up to around about shoulder width. From here, placing your hands central to the bars, you're going to start with your hips level to your arms and getting the legs as straight as you possibly can. As you initiate the dip, the intention is to bring the head forwards, keeping the forearms in an upright position and taking the backside as near to the floor as you possibly can. So bringing the head forwards, keeping the shoulders round, you work down into your dip, backside to the floor if you can, keep your legs as straight as possible, and as you push out strong, I want you to think about breaking the bars as you reach that top position, so we're working into the back of the shoulders. And again, as we initiate the dip itself, you're bringing the shoulders forwards, bringing the head as close to the knees as you possibly can, and then pushing out strong. When you reach that top position, I want you to think about keeping the shoulders down as best you possibly can. So don't let the shoulders fall into this shrug position here. Keep the shoulders down and then initiate the dip itself. So for the tripod reach, you're going to set yourself up into a seated position with the feet slightly in front of the knees. When you place your hand on the floor, you'll see how the shoulder sits just behind the hand with the fingers pointing back. From here, to initiate the tripod reach, you're going to start by driving those knees forwards and lifting up the hips all at the same time. See how I'm bringing the shoulder more towards the line of the hand, and with the free hand, you're going to send that over your head, and you want to keep your eyes on that hand all the way through. So really pressing through that shoulder, but keep the hips as high as possible. Then you've got to move back down to your seated position, move across to the other side, again bringing the hand just in front of the shoulder, making sure the knees sit behind the feet, and then we drive those knees forwards, lifting the hips up, good support on the shoulder, and I want to follow the free hand with the eyes in that top position. Back into the seated position, moving across, and then repeat. So for our tuck to pikes, you're going to place your hands central to the bars, making sure the feet sit directly underneath the knees. From here, you're going to keep your arms as straight as possible and the shoulders packed down. First thing you're going to do is work on lifting the heels as far off the floor as you possibly can. And to initiate the pike, what you're going to do is to lean forwards ever so slightly, compressing the bars and trying to get the legs as straight as possible. From here, you're going to simply move back down into your tuck position until the knees stack the feet, and then you're ready to go again. So leaning forwards, compressing, straightening the legs, being as light through your feet as you possibly can, and then revert back into the tuck position. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, what we can do when we're in this position is simply take the feet off the floor in the tuck position. This requires more compression, more strength on the shoulders, and then from here, you're going to send the hips back once again, leaning forwards, straightening the legs into the pike position, and then revert back into the tuck. Now, just before we kick things off with the workout, I just want to let you know that if you want to gain access to the full Urban Calisthenics library, then head over to urbancalisthenics.com, where you can access over 100 calisthenics workouts with a new workout added every single week for just $4.99 a month. You can also take advantage of a 7-day free trial with no commitments and no payments up front. Now let's get into the workout. Thanks so much for taking part in this Urban Calisthenics workout. I hope you had a great time challenging yourself and breaking a sweat. If you did find this workout useful and beneficial, please give me a like and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. If you do want to gain access to the full Urban Calisthenics library, please visit urbancalisthenics.com where you can gain access to over 100 workouts with a new workout added every single week for just $4.99 a month. Keep up the great work, stay motivated, and I'll see you on the next workout.